Delta County Commissioners regular meeting, February 6, 2024. If you'd stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, and for all. Thank you. Are there any additions to the agenda? Hearing none, the agenda will stand as approved. Constituent time, is there anybody in the room that would like to address the board?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, state your name and address for the record, please.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name's Steve Reed. I'm most me. I live at 248 4th Street, Uncas, Colorado. Just two quick items. First thing is I would like to put on for record that during the Pledge of Allegiance that we changed the cadence and repeat the Pledge of Allegiance as it was written with the comma in the proper place. Instead of one nation under God, indivisible, we change it like it was supposed to be written, one nation under God, indivisible. And then possibly let's see about getting this into the school system too. This is something, just one little thing might be able to get Delta County, America, thinking about some right things or getting them focused where they should be. One nation under God, indivisible. Second item, rumor has it that there is a 400 unit housing complex going up in Cedar Edges. Is that a correct rumor?
That's the first I've heard of that rumor.
Okay, cool. I'm done. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Anybody else in the room that'd like to address the board? Anybody on the computer, Lindsay?
No, it's good.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the county clerk, Terry Stevenson.
Good morning, commissioners. I have the minutes for the January 16th, 2024 regular meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. Are there any changes, deletions, or additions?
I have none.
In here,
Good to me.
Okay, thank you.
you bet. No liquor license or nothing, golly, what are we gonna do?
I know.
Next, we'll jump into commissioner business. The next item is board's consideration and ratification of letter of support for residents at Delta 2 family housing.
I'll move that the board sign the letter of support to Catherine Grossup with the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority regarding residences at Delta 2 family housing in Delta.
I think we're ratifying.
Oh, yep, already signed. I'll amend my motion for ratification.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion?
Can I ask?
Let us get done with this motion because the discussion is between the board members.
Okay.
If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so done. Yes, Mr. Reed?
Just curious, what's Delta 2 housing
It's part of the Housing Authorities project they've got out here.
by Kmart?
No,
Or is there another one?
that's not a housing authority project out here by Walmart. This is actually out here off of Bluff Street in Delta.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So what is it being done for? Is this for some of the homeless in town?
No, this is workforce housing, affordable housing. In Section 8 stuff mostly.
Section 8, excellent, man. That is a great idea. How many units are they building out there?
I can't honestly answer that.
Are they,
It's-
have they received a permit to?
No, this is just a letter of support for them to go after the grant.
And,
Well, Mr. Reed, we'll let you go ahead and do the research on your part.
well, I thought that's part of the county's job, be looking out for the county.
This is a letter of support for that.
Well, but is it affordable housing is very important. I've got a master's degree teacher that can't afford to buy a house here in town.
Point of order.
But why, but it says,
Mr. Chairman.
what, how are we gonna put 1,000 people down here? We don't,
Are we ready?
where's the water coming from? Where is the economy coming from? Are they gonna put in 400 units, 1,000 units?
This is within the city of Delta. And I can assure you it's not for that kind of numbers. They're just trying to fill the need.
Mr. Reed, I'd ask you to take that up with the city of Delta. It is within the city of Delta
Well,
jurisdiction.
where's Delta?
It's in the city of Delta. I asked
Where's
you-
Delta?
Mr. Reed, we're gonna go ahead and move. Second item is board consideration and review of final bid tally for 2023 RFP 28. Vehicle leasing and fleet management services.
We'd like to, for the board's consideration.
Put on your microphone and thank you.
We would like to do leases on some vehicles for the county. For certain departments that the vehicles move quite a bit and they get out of, warranty pretty fast. And, not all vehicles for the county, a lot of vehicles sit, a lot, but just there's a department or two that need vehicles that we can turn them quick and, keep them under warranty. So that's part of the lease deal. It's a lot cheaper than buying a vehicle for those departments. Do you have any questions for us on?
So Scott, you know, I've beat you guys up pretty hard on this issue just because I've got genuine concerns about replacement and you know, how we continue once the lease is up. I think, you know, the other challenge we have is the availability of vehicles right now. I know we have trouble getting them.
Right.
But I would like us, I mean, moving forward, I understand the need now, but I don't know that this is the long-term fix.
Right.
I think this may be the short-term fix while supply is hard to get. But I mean, these leasing companies make money.
Right.
And the way they make money is, you know, making everybody else pay for vehicles.
Sure.
And I understand the warranty issues. I understand being able to take a vehicle and have it serviced under warranty versus us trying to do it, especially with these newer vehicles and the computers and everything. But I understand, but I'm apprehensive. Just put it on the record that I'm apprehensive about
Okay.
going on a wholesale lease. I know we're still purchasing our sheriff's vehicles. And I know we're still passing those down. But I do just want to state for the record that I'm nervous about trying to make this a long-term program.
Okay.
Commissioner Supas, for the sheriff's office, it kind of comes down to a budgetary issue as well. You know, we're leasing 7 vehicles for $49,000. To purchase the same 7 vehicles, we'd be looking at about $450,000. So there's kind of a consideration with us trying to move forward and lease a few vehicles. Again, I understand your concerns for long-term. It's not sustainable long-term, but you know, as far as the bottom line for the county and for the budget, it looks good on paper, and it's $49,000 for the sheriff's office is considerably better than $450,000, which is what it would cost us to purchase those equivalent vehicles. The board asked me to check on availability of purchasing vehicles, which I did so last week. Sounds like it's getting better. It's certainly not where it was, but it sounds like it's getting better, and you can kind of see that on our local car lots. There's more vehicles on the car lots now than there was a year ago. So it's still one of those things where if we were going to purchase a truck, for example, we would still have to order that. We would still be at the mercy of the manufacturer and when it's going to show up.
Right.
You know, according to the dealerships, they don't get as much consideration for purchases as they used to. I'm told, pre-COVID, it's about $9,000. And now it's about $1,000. So it makes it to where a government entity is basically purchasing for almost sticker price or what you and I would do them buy one up the lot for. So we're not really getting any deals anymore either.
So if we approve one of these bids, what's the commitment? 3 years?
So we would request that we go with Unified, whom you guys have already approved the resolution to maintain them for the rest of this year. We'd like to continue that relationship off of this RFP to add additional vehicles. And the nice thing about Unified, again, as I mentioned before, is it's an open-ended lease. It's not there's no mileage limits. We can opt out of this anywhere between 1 and 3 years, with year 4 and 5 is designed to purchase the vehicle.
And they had the best price on the lease. They do it per year, like of the lease.
How many vehicles do you think we're gonna need to lease in 2024?
Counting what the sheriff department has and, the few here, I need like 3 for human services is the only other ones that we need to purchase.
The sheriff's office, Commissioner Scott, go ahead.
So, sorry, go ahead.
The sheriff's office is gonna maintain their current level of leased vehicles through this year, and I don't see that changing anytime in the future either.
We have 2 here, and then, like I say, we'd probably do 3 for human services. They drive to the eastern slope all the time. So I'm trying to get them something that is dependable. We've already had 2 breakdowns with the vehicles they had trying to go to the eastern slope. So then both of those vehicles ended up at the auction. Because the engines went bad.
And these prices are good for 3 years.
Yes.
And so far they've been easy to get along with, no,
Very, yes.
is that,
There's been some growing pains, like I talked about last time with it requiring a resolution of the board now and, some little bit more hoops that we have to jump through than when this whole thing started. But, like I stated before, a lot of it is because this lease program, nationwide, because of availability, has grown so much, and within our county, it's grown quite a bit.
and Unified is out of Salt Lake City, and that's the closest we could get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Some of them said they could have them shipped here, but they were like 2,500 a month for a vehicle.
Mm,
And we're talking for a heavy duty pickup, 7,500 a year with Unified, so it pays to go there to pick them up.
Any other questions?
Well, I will move that the board approve, RFP 2023-28 vehicle leasing and fleet management services to Unified. $8,500 per year for large SUV, $5,000 per year for small SUV, $7,500 per year for heavy duty pickup truck, and $8,500 a year for light duty pickup truck.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so done. Thank you.
Thanks for your hard work.
Yeah.
All that day out.
Next up, board's consideration and review of final bid tally for 2024 RFP 01 jail-based behavioral services. And we have a young lady and the sheriff here to address that. Thank you. Morning.
You all are aware of Jackie Felix, JBBS Administrator, Sheriff's Office. And also, as you're aware of, Sheriff's Office ended a contract with Integrated Insight Therapy here a short time ago. Through that process, we put an RFP out
to see who would be interested in providing those services for the sheriff's office detention facility. And Jackie can explain what criteria we were looking for through that process and why and how we came up with that recommendation to the board.
Good morning, commissioners.
Good morning.
So the main criteria that we were looking for during this transition period was continuity of care and client safety. I have personally chosen my team in the JVBS program up in the jail. And as you can tell, we've had a really successful and progressive program since then. So we were looking at the client safety factor as well as support from a behavioral health program that would not only allow us to maintain client staff, but work with the jail staff, which was strongly encouraged by the captain and the sergeants because they enjoy working with us. We have a solid team, consistent schedules, and it's good for the clients. It's in the best interest of the inmates in the long run. And so that was my primary concern. Of course, budget was taken into consideration. But the bottom line for us or for myself would be client safety and continuity of care. If we go with a smaller business like BHW, behavioral health and behavioral health and wellness, we have to rely less on unlicensed professionals that are supervised, which decreases the number of people coming into the jail that have to go through background checks. We have less turnover, of course, and retention of staff if we stay with where we're at. So, and then of course, the project is entirely grant funded, so it's at no cost to the county.
So, I mean, I understand this is a pass-through money-wise. But I mean, these numbers are all over the board.
Yeah.
How did you make sense of what's what here? So,
We're all over the board and I have the numbers in front of me as well. So after working with Integrated and becoming familiar with how they were administering their grant, my main concern is that not 100% of the grant money be going into a business for them to operate their entire business off of. It's very important that we're able to retain part of that budget to put back into jail, into client services, other needed items that are going to reduce recidivism and help community safety. Some of them came in very, very low, which made me concerned that either they have unlicensed clinicians or that they're not providing any services that meet the standards that I've developed. And then the ones that came in approximately the same, I think there's a $9,000 difference, which was Access Healthcare and Behavioral Health and Wellness. They were able to break down their numbers that were more in line with the way the program has been run. The difference being that there's still a significant amount of money left over in the budget and that we put back into client services and the jail. And so that's what we narrowed them down to. And then after speaking with both of them in depth, Access wanted to come in and essentially change the program. They are a larger corporation, so they are more money driven, less client oriented. And Behavioral Health and Wellness, it only has 22 people. Some of them have been working together since 1994. And several of them have a background in law enforcement, working in corrections and detention facilities, as well as military background. That was a key factor for me because they understand the demographic of the clients that we're working with. Also, trying to hire a licensed clinician to work in a jail setting is nearly impossible. And I have not only a licensed clinician, but he's getting his doctorate and become a forensic psychologist soon, which we can use for our competency process, which shortens the time that our competency clients are in jail. So that was what it boiled down to for me, was maintaining my team, maintaining continuity of care and client safety.
so your recommendation is behavioral health and wellness?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Jackie, there's two timeframes on here. One, of course, through June 30 and then second through the fiscal year. Are these gonna run consecutively? How do you see that working?
At the end of the fiscal year, then a new proposed budget will be reviewed and If everything is going well, we'll continue with BHW. If there seem to be issues, we have the option at that time to change. I don't foresee it being an issue based on information that we have gathered from both companies, and I think that it'll be a seamless transition. And then not only that, it'll continue for 4 years, at which point the RFP process can be brought up again, or we can renew the entire contract again. So mainly, we do not want to go through this process again.
I see so many people interested in bidding, but the numbers are scattered.
All right,
I'll make the motion.
okay,
I'll make the motion, the board approve the bid for 2024 RFP 01 to Behavioral Health and Wellness out of Grand Junction. Through June 30, it'll be $239,696.20. Through the fiscal year, July 1 through June 30, $106,461.75.
second,
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, aye?
aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you very much for all
Thank you,
your.
Jackie, for your efforts.
Do let us know how it's,
Thank you. Pardon me?
do let us know how it's going.
I sure will.
Yeah, all right, sounds good.
You guys want to stick around for the next one? Don't have to, but
That's for the.
Detention.
Yep.
Oh.
Just a little thing, you know?
One project at a time, Commissioner.
Sorry. We don't have time for that.
Next up is the board's consideration and review of final bid tally for 2023 RFP 26 remodel of the Delta County Detention Facility.
All right, commissioners, sheriff and undersheriff here are gonna stay for this conversation. As you know, we went out to bid for design of this project last year. We contracted with Blythe Group and several other firms to develop a design for a pretty much a full remodel of this jail. We did this in alternates, so that way we could, make sure we get it done, because we didn't know how much money it was gonna cost, and we are of limited budget. So if you will notice, we have 7 alternates on here plus the base bid. The base bid is basically to demo the existing downstairs and to redo existing sewer and plumbing and mechanical in that downstairs. We're going to be able to add a grinder system for the sewer. We have a lot of sewer issues because of the stuff that gets flushed down. This should help us. The city of Delta has asked that we do that in the past, so this should help with them. We also are looking at, if you look at alternate 1, 2, 3, this is the new booking area downstairs. This is the evidence room downstairs, staff area and expansion of the kitchen. Number 3 is the addition of 2 ADA cells upstairs and the video court upstairs. Number 7 is the other one I'd like to bring into your attention, and that is the work release section of the downstairs of the facility. So what I'm asking this board to consider is alternates 1, 2, and 3, and 7. This will give us a chance to basically finish the entire downstairs, get our video court upstairs, and leave the sheriff's office in a good spot where we can come back, the design is done, and we can come back in subsequent years as money allows, as grant funding becomes available, and we can take care of these alternates. We can start biting them off a chunk at a time. the biggest challenges, obviously, with this facility are, you know, the age and the structure. I mean, we don't add anything to this building without some serious work. You can't even cut a hole in the roof without cutting concrete. So there's just a lot of challenges involved with this project, partly the reason it's costing so much money here. Sheriff, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, the only thing I would add, commissioners, is, this is a project that's been in need for a number of years. My staff has been on the losing end of a lot of issues from plumbing. Things flow downstream, and my staff is downstream from the inmates detention facility. To be completely honest, I'm surprised that county and myself haven't been sued up to this point for things that have happened over there as far as working conditions. So this is something that's in need of. It's an expensive project. I appreciate Commissioner Supas's diligence in trying to trim this thing down to the best of his ability.
Yeah, I would just echo what the sheriff said. It's just time for some upgrades. The infrastructure is just, a lot of it's failing, and even if we got nothing else other than replacing some sewer lines and some grinders and some things like that, that would really be a win. So all the other things that Commissioner Supas is working on and trying to get funding for is really a bonus for us and for the staff, and it's going to go a long ways.
So just kind of to, we had a lot of hours in meetings. I want to thank the sheriff and under sheriff. I want to thank Captain Cano for attending those meetings. We spent a lot of time going through design here to make sure we did this right. And I really feel like everything went well. One of the big advantages with this is we will be able to move our booking downstairs. And given the nature of the court system and the way the state legislature favors criminal behavior, that's probably going to be a lot easier for staff. They can come into the booking downstairs, and a lot of them will never even go upstairs because of the way we handle things in the courts these days. It's going to save a lot of time and a lot of grief. The other thing we've talked about is, we don't currently have an ADA cell in that jail. It was built in 1983, wasn't an issue in 1983. Now it's an issue. So this gives us ADA cells. The other factor, like we talked several times now, the sewer pipe. We ran a camera down that sewer this last year, and it's like a roller coaster going through there. There's a lot of dips and bumps and a lot of problems. So getting that sewer line pulled out and reinstalled is going to be a huge factor for making this facility work better. Now, price wise, we have, I've had several meetings we had one bidder that you can see. I've had several meetings with North Peak. I've met with architects and engineers. I've met with the contractor that they have bidding the mechanical portion of this. And we have found several areas that we've been able to value engineer, where the engineering firm spec'd us out, not just Cadillac, but Lamborghini. So some of this stuff, they overkilled it pretty hard. So there's a lot of these things that we're going to be able to drop down. I am hoping to get all of these done with the alternates 1, 2, and 3, and the alternate 7. And I would like to have this well below the $9 million mark. We have budgeted $8 million, and I would like this board to give me the authority to enter into contract once we have value engineered that and get this project to that point.
The video court that you're proposing, is that the alternate 7?
That's the alternate. No, that's alternate 3.
3.
Alternate 7 is the downstairs work release section.
Okay.
Yes.
Inmate safety is quite a item anymore, like Commissioner Super says. Seem like the criminals have more rights than the individuals, but safety of the staff that works there too is the major item, and this will hopefully make it safer for the staff to work with the inmates. You're talking about the HVA system, the heating and air conditioning. Well, some people really aren't too concerned about the comfort of the inmate, but if we don't take the comfort of the inmate into consideration, and then there's special groups that will come after you for not adhering to their rights and for the inmates' comfort, but safety of the staff is a major item also.
I don't know, if we keep our clientele over there comfortable, it makes a lot easier for the staff to deal with them also. Because, we're not a long-term facility here. We're not keeping guys in prison for years. We're keeping guys in prison for, 48 hours to 2 weeks to 30 days. There's not that long-term stuff that a lot of these facilities have to deal with. So it changes our parameters of how we have to look at this.
Don, are you confident North Peak can take this on and complete it in the 14 months or?
This is actually, was the 14 months for the entire project. Right now, what we're probably looking at more like 9 to 10 months, hopefully, to complete alternates 1 through 3 and alternate 7. Our hope is to be done by the end of the year.
Congratulations to you and the sheriff and undersheriff for getting moved into your new offices there.
Not quite all moved in yet, but hopefully by the end of this week.
What's the will of the board?
Don, I'd like to make the motion and give you the authority to go into contract here. Which one are you looking at? Is it number 5 there?
So we're looking at
Number 4.
at number 4 and alternate 7. So
And what's the total in that?
at this point in time, I would like, it will not exceed $9 million.
I'll make the motion, the board approve RFP 2023-26 to North Peak Construction for base total for construction plus alternatives 1, 2, and 3, and 7, with a not to exceed of 9 million.
I'll step down and second that. Motion is second on the floor. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. So done. Thanks, Don, for all your work.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you, gentlemen. We
Don,
will-
good luck. This is quite a big project you've taken on.
It'll be good.
Complex for sure. One step.
And I want to thank the sheriff and his staff for helping get to this point too. Like I said, it took a lot of meetings and a lot of planning to develop this design. And I feel comfortable that we've got a good design and that this puts us in a good path moving forward to, like I said, subsequent years, finish this project out and get it done and make it affordable for the taxpayers. To
40 or 50 years.
Right, to build a new prison, we talked to some architects and engineers as we started this process. And to replicate this facility, we would easily be in the $50 to $60 million range. So, I feel like this is a good step, and this is what's best for the taxpayers.
Good job. Good job. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to invite the commissioners to come over too and see
Okay.
how things are developing over there in the new offices and dispatch. Take a walk through and see it.
Okay. Thank you.
Sometime this week. think the undersheriff and myself are gonna be the last to move over there. We're trying to get everybody else moved over there first. Right, Thursday or Friday, we should all be moving in.
Okay.
I did get a chance last week, like, to walk through. Dispatch was amazing.
Yeah, it came out nice.
Up at the old building and grab a box on your way over.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. You did good.
Next, is, Health Director Karen O'Brien. She's not here. Lindsay, would you send the Karen O'Brien an email?
I mean, this is just,
She doesn't have to.
yeah, she doesn't have to be here for this, no.
Was Health Director Karen, notification the chairman's signature on the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment Emergency Preparedness and Response Contract Amendment.
I'll move that the board ratify the chairman's signature on contract amendment number 6 for the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment for the Emergency Preparedness and Response Contract Amendment. Duration of this contract, July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024, for the amount of $25,000.
Second on that.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye, so done. Thank you. Next up, we have consideration of a full-time employee for District Number 4 Crusher.
Yes, Robbie and I sit down and talk about it, and it just didn't get on the budget before it was passed, and talking with the guys at the crusher, they need another employee.
Okay.
They're stretched out pretty thin.
We ask an awful lot of our crusher crew. There are 3 guys there that do an incredible amount of work.
They do pretty much all their own work.
Yeah.
Except for things that they, out of their realm. They do a lot of welding and repairs, and they keep it running, so. The foreman's kind of stretched. He doesn't have a lot of time to do other things. So I'm hoping this employee would give him a little bit more time to keep up with paperwork, those kind of things as well.
No, just,
There's a lot of permitting to do and that kind of thing, so.
and the upkeep with MSHA,
Right.
that's tough too, so.
and I think we do need to do this, but we do need a business plan for this.
Okay.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to table this till next meeting.
Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Next up, number 7, board's consideration of intergovernmental agreement with Delta Health regarding the purchase, installation, and operation of an electric vehicle charger to be located at 1501 East Third Street, Delta.
Well, this was mine, gentlemen. As you remember, we had the Charge Ahead Colorado grant and the CDPHE SDP fund. And going through the purchase bids and construction installation bids, there was sufficient funds to assist the Delta Health Hospital in purchasing 2 level 2 chargers and pay for the installation. This is an IGA that covers this. Mr. Bayer has developed this in coordination with the hospital. John, you got anything on this one?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward on this one. I think. So,
Yeah. It's pretty easy. And this will help the hospital attract and retain employees offering this service.
Well, I'll move that the board approve the IGA with Delta Health regarding the purchase installation operation of EV charger to be located at 1501 East Third Street in Delta. Authorize the chairman to sign.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Next up,
Not a paper copy. Next item is similar. This is an IGA with the city of Delta. Essentially for the same type of equipment purchase and installation. This is a level 3 charger to be located at the city-owned library. Again, with the grant and SCP funds, no tax dollars involved. We will start the construction, install the equipment, and turn over maintenance and ownership to the city of Delta. City of Delta has already reviewed and signed this IGA.
Go ahead, John.
Nope.
Okay. Well, then I'll move that the board approve the IGA and authorize the chairman to sign between the city of Delta and the county regarding the purchase, installation, operation of EV charger to be located at 124 East Sixth Street in Delta.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Well done. Thank you. Okay. Next up, board's consideration and review of award for 2024 RFQ 02 construction project management and materials testing for North Fork Miners Trail segments 1 and 2.
Another project here, commissioners. We went out for a quote on the construction management material testing project oversight for the segments 1 and 2. We had one bidder, Buckhorn Engineering, for the amount of $63,000. Again, this is being paid for by the CDOT TAP funds for those two segments. Pretty straightforward. We did the same thing for segments 3, 4, and 5.
That's Buckhorn for 63,000.
Correct, Buckhorn Engineering.
Okay. Well, kudos on getting this project moving. It's been a while coming. So this will be good to see. And thank you for your time on this. I'll move that the board award RFQ 2024-02 construction project management materials testing for North Fork Miners Trail to Buckhorn Engineering for $63,000.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion?
I would like to amend my motion to authorize Commissioner Kuntz to enter into contract for this.
Thank you.
Okay. Motion's noted, so amended.
Second.
Okay.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. Lindsay, the review of our VOCC calendar.
Yes, sir. So tonight you have from 6 to 8 p.m. Republican Party meeting at the Surface Creek Church. Thursday, February 8th, we have an 8:30 a.m. AGNC call. It's a virtual call. Thursday, February 15th, 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. Coffee with Commissioner Don Supas. That will be held at Doghouse Espresso on Main Street in Delta. Same morning at 8:30 a.m. there's another AGNC virtual call. On Friday, February 16th from 10 a.m. to 11:30, Boetra Rural Leaders Collaborative. That will be a virtual meeting. Tuesday, February 20th, that will be our next Board of County Commissioners regular meeting, 8:30 to noon here at 560 Dodge Street. February 20th from 1 to 2:30 p.m. we have a work session with Road and Bridge. That's here at 560 Dodge Street. The same day on February 20th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. a Board of Health meeting here at 560 Dodge Street. Wednesday, February 21st, 9 a.m. I might have that wrong, excuse me, 8:30 a.m. There's another AGNC virtual call. No, I'm so sorry. That one is an in-person meeting, 9 a.m. to 2. Are any of you planning on going to that Garfield County Admin Building?
I'm not.
I haven't decided yet.
Okay, I'll leave that on the calendar for now. And that Wednesday, February 21st first is 5:30 to 10. We have our public hearing land use code with the Board of County Commissioners. That's going to be held at the Delta Family Center here in Delta. That information is also listed on our website and on our social media page. Thursday, February 22nd, we have a AGNC call. That's a virtual call. There's also a steering committee meeting that day.
At the CCI meeting,
Thank you.
both days, Thursday and Friday,
Thursday and Friday. Okay.
and I will be there.
Anyway. And then to end the month, there's another February 29th, 8:30 a.m. AGNC call, virtual call. Am I missing anything?
Lindsay, on the 23rd, I have the Library Foundation fundraiser.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll be in Denver that day, so I doubt I'll make it back in time.
I'll just go ahead and put it on the calendar so everybody knows about it anyway. Great,
Okay, thank you, Lindsay.
thank you.
Next up at 10 o'clock, we have planning. And I'll read the jail report. Sunday, January 21st, 2024, Delta County Detention Facility Population Count Report. Male inmates, County Jail 31, female inmates, County Jail 14, male inmates, Department of Corrections 4, female inmates, Department of Corrections 2, for a total of 51. The average daily inmate population for the week of 1/1/14/24 through 1/21/24 was 60.29. Sunday, January 28th, 2024, Delta County Detention Facility Population Count Report. Male inmates, County Jail 34, female inmates, County Jail 14, male inmates, Department of Corrections 2, female inmates, Department of Corrections 1, for a total of 51. Average daily inmate population for the week of 1/21/24 through 1/28/24 was 56.15. Sunday, February 4th, 2024, Delta County Detention Facility Population Count Report. Male inmates 34, female inmates 15, male inmates, Department of Corrections 5, female inmates, Department of Corrections 1, for a total of 55. Average daily inmate population for the week of 1/28/24 through 2/4/24 was 56.66. And then we'll go into recess until 10 o'clock for planning. O'clock, we'll come back on the record for planning. And first up is the board's consideration and review of the local planning capacity grant application. Austin?
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you. I am seeking today your official action approval to submit my application for the local planning capacity grant program. I provided you with my my proposed application and a budget worksheet. I do want to give you an updated budget worksheet. Hold on just a second. Been in consultation with DOLA and Matt Jennings in order to ask for the budget that's most appropriate for this project. The funding will be for a 2-year program. And basically we are asking for an 80% match on our personnel consultant fees and operations and administration. For a new employee to continue our investigation with Contour as consultants for affordable housing in the community and also general operation and administration expenses.
So I see on the application, it says new employee salary of 35,000.
Right, and I have adjusted that so that the worksheet that I gave you has the most accurate numbers for the position that we're trying to fill. And really nailing down that 80-20 split that DOLA is preferring for this grant program.
And what will this person do?
So this will be a planner position. 50% of their time will be focused on, there are a lot of things that we can be involved with this grant program. So basically, we're wanting to increase affordable housing units in the county and also with our intergovernmental agreements. So we're already working with Delta One Delta for their project, and there are some other projects that I've seen from developers for affordable housing and workforce housing. The intent of the program is to increase the capacity of our local government and planning departments responsible for processing land use, permitting, and zoning applications for housing projects. The program supports our capacity to address affordable housing, especially by expediting review, any permitting, zoning, development of affordable housing. So this grant could support basically new staff wages, hiring consultants, implementing new systems and technologies, and revising our land use development codes. So we are in the process of doing a lot of the activities that this grant supports. So that's why I am in support of basically submitting an application and getting some funding from DOLA.
And once again, what are they considering affordable here?
Well, affordable is a metric, and it's usually based upon the PMI. It needs to be below 80% of the PMI rating for the house. So basically, either rent or purchasing the property should be at 80% of its market value or less.
And do they base that, is that based off of the statewide average or is that the county average?
Those are statewide things. For the most part, the grant really just wants to see how we are improving affordable housing and basically the permitting process. With the changes that are proposed to come down the line with Table 2B and the updated land use code, there are some things in there that would fall into this grant. For the most part, the reporting and the grantees, if we are awarded the grant, we need to demonstrate positive project implementation. So the Delta One project, we would need to show that that is actually making progress over the next 2 years, and that would the reporting would happen quarterly, and that would be taken on by the new employee as part of their responsibilities.
So, but this is all part of that Prop 123, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but what happens in unincorporated county, we're not allowed to include what's going on inside municipalities.
No, but it does we have worked with their intergovernmental agreements, and there are areas that they want us to work with the municipalities in our county in order to help achieve this. For the most part, a lot of the urban growth area and areas that are more likely to be able to accept affordable or workforce housing are really on the edges of the municipalities and the counties. So it will require working together with those counties, and all of the Delta County, Hotchkiss, Paonia have all opted into the program also. So they are potential partners to work with.
Okay, so, and I had long discussions with the gal that's running the housing portion of this and taking care of the Prop 1, 2, 3. And there's some challenges behind this legislation. But you know, as long as we maintain that it's an 80% PMI of the state average.
Yeah.
Then a lot of our development will fall under those guidelines no matter what, even though it's not necessarily meant to be that way.
Right.
Just because of the nature of being able to do it cheaper in Delta County.
Yep.
We will fall under that number. So I think we can maintain that growth level that 1, 2, 3 requires. But I mean, it's a slippery slope. I mean, there's only so much growth you could maintain.
Right.
With the availability.
And there are no metrics for growth that we have to prove, or it's not like we have to show that we've increased our affordable housing by a certain percentage or anything like that. It's basically they want to see that we are improving the environment and we are making some sort of progress. It is a little bit more open than us saying, okay, we're saying we're gonna produce 15 houses a year, we gotta produce 15 houses a year. It's a little bit more open to interpretation.
But I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that interpretation is a little bit squishy compared to where the ballot language was on Prop 1, 2, 3.
Could be, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm still a little unclear. What is this new employee going to be doing 50% of the time on this and 50% time on what else? I'm
50% of the time on basically normal activities in the planning department with answering communities' questions, doing land use applications, presenting cases for the board of adjustments, cases for you guys.
Is there really enough demand for another position like that?
We've been short-staffed, and things get for longer than I've been here. It's what I've been told. And I do think that there is we need as many people as possible to be able to handle the influx of folks that come in, either with permit applications or just questions. A good percentage of our time does get eaten up trying to address community members' concerns when they come in, whatever those concerns are. And that usually eats up an hour or 2 hours of your time pretty quick. So that can really bog down the normal workflow and making sure that the permitting process is smooth and streamlined.
Okay, so 50% of the time on, call it normal duties. I still don't understand what this capacity grant, that 50% of the time, you said they're gonna be changing the land use code again?
No, so there are things that make us eligible and metrics that we can put into our reporting. So if we do implement this new land use code, that's gonna work for our first quarterly report to say, hey, look what we did here. And we would be able to point into the specific adjustments in the land use code as hopefully making streamlining the permitting process.
So what's this new employee going to be doing?
So I have, we have the Delta One project, and there are several other projects that have been presented to the planning department that have either workforce housing or affordable housing into their development plan. So that person would really help those developers to be able to navigate the system, to be able to implement those projects as quickly as possible. And part of the reporting would be tracking how long the stages of the process are taking, and hopefully we would be able to show improvements.
And what happens to this employee at the end of 2 years?
The proposed funding for Prop 1, 2, 3 is basically in perpetuity. in the first year of funding, there was approximately $3 million available. They're increasing that to $6 million. And they're saying that that will be the cap annually thereafter. So this is not a grant that would run out and then we would have to then pay our employee to make up for the grant funds. If we are eligible, if we are accepted into this grant program, there is a firm chance that we would be able to continue to get this grant money for that employee for the lifetime of their service here.
I don't want to throw cold water on the situation, but have we had any applications for this position we've had open for a while now?
I am ready to interview for the position. We've had 18 applications, 13 of them were qualified, and I have my top 3 that I want to interview.
Good sign.
If the new employee and we get accepted for this program, he works for Delta County for however long and then quits, is there any ramification to getting another new employee for that position?
No.
Another question is on the, you got 24,000 slated for a consultant with a $6,000 local match, total 30. What do you need a consultant to do?
We are working with Contour Consultants and we're creating a housing map that shows the best places in the county that are available for affordable housing. Through the data collection and through this process, there is a lot of services that Contour has to offer. This money would help to complete the project that was started with Carl Home, and also hopefully have enough that we would be able to move things forward for affordable and workforce housing.
Any other questions, Jimmy?
I still struggle a little bit here. We all want affordable.
The part of the challenge here is, we discussed this with this Prop 123 is, we, as the county, we need to be able to cooperate with our municipalities. Part of that process is, applying for this grant, making sure we have the assessments done, making sure we have the staff to process these applications. So this, even though this is maybe not the best process, I think it's still, it's still gonna be a necessary evil to get this Prop 123 funding. I don't believe that there's gonna be a lot of funding made available for rural Colorado still. I still think most of this funding goes for the metro area, but if we want to be part of that pot, this is kind of this process it's gonna take to get in that.
I'd just like to see some more concrete deliverables. And maybe I'm asking too much here.
Well, I can understand that, but here's the problem, is DOLA has moved the goalpost, housing has moved the goalpost. Prop 123 was not a perfect bill to begin with. And so I may be a little bit on the opposite end here. I kind of like having flexible deliverables because I don't know that the deliverables are going to stay constant in the next 2 years.
Good point.
And that is, from my communication with DOLA, that is their intent, is to keep the deliverables a little bit more flexible because they know that things are gonna happen in different speeds and different areas. They don't want to set one standard for all of the communities.
Would they sit at that front desk?
Yes.
It would be nice to have somebody at that.
We're gonna fill that position no matter what, so.
Yes.
This is. Okay. Kind of icing on the cake. as far as that position goes.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to get a good portion of their salary paid through this grant.
Administration of their time and efforts will be the biggest challenge of it, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll move that the board approve and authorize the chairman to sign the local planning capacity grant application with Dole.
I'll second that.
Motion and second before the board. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, aye.
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 Thank you, gentlemen.
Do let us know how this is proceeding. We do know that deliverables mean something to me.
Yeah, most definitely.
Thank you.
The next item, is, the Delta County Administration, is excuse me. Next, item is, for the board to authorize the chair to sign a plat transferring 3.035 acres from parcel 324-331-200006. McCartney parcel A to parcel 324-331-10035, Delta County parcel B. This is, basic, plat transferring, and, John here knows the details on it.
Sure, happy to fill in. The board will remember that back in December of 2023, just a couple months ago, the board authorized the contract to buy just over 3 acres from Mary McCartney. This is the kind of a triangle portion. This is kind of that last piece that is south of the fairgrounds in Hotchkiss. So really, this is kind of the last piece of, probably 3 different parcels that we've bought that kind of secures for the county all the land down to the river, kind of out to the middle of the river. So this is the last portion. So this is only the boundary line adjustment portion. So really, the reason this is before the board is simply to kind of approve that, and because the county owns the property, to have the to authorize the chair to go ahead and sign that. Just for everyone's information, once this is done, the property owner, the seller, I guess, if you want to put it that way, will need to sign the plat. Again, I have a closing scheduled later this month on the 20th, where we will actually purchase and buy the 3 acres. So you're kind of managing the boundary line adjustment process at the same time you're managing the real estate closing process, and we're doing that. So hopefully this will be all wrapped up by February 20th. So, Commissioner Knuts, I don't know if you have anything else on this or.
I don't, unless you guys have questions.
Fish pond in Delta County.
Yes, it is. I move the board approve PLN 23-123. McCartney, authorized chair to sign a plat transferring 3.035 acres from parcel 324-331-20006, which is the McCartney parcel A, to parcel 324-331-10035, Delta County parcel B, and authorized chair to sign.
Second motion?
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, so done. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, thank you for doing this.
Of course, absolutely, and I'll let you know when we're all done on the 20th. So Chairman, you'll need to sign the plat. Is it down in planning that? The plat?
I think so, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there any further business to come before the board? If not, we'll stand adjourned then. Thank you.